Call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Kristen, not here. Karen,
Yes.
Josh, not here. Paul,
Here.
Larry,
Yes.
Kate, not here, and then Jake.
Yes. Thank you. Approval of the March minutes, please. Any corrections, everything looks good to me. If not, motion to approve the March 15th regular board meeting minutes, please.
Kristen, Karen.
I
I think we'll have that.
Karen.
Roll call, please.
Karen. Oh, we didn't get a second.
I
threw out the meeting.
Second the motion.
Let's start over, please.
Let's start.
Sorry, who said Paul? Thank you. Now I will do a roll call.
All right.
Karen.
Yes.
Yes.
Josh, I'm sorry, Paul,
Here.
Larry, and Jake.
Yes.
I did it twice.
It was one of those days.
Throw one in for Josh.
Thank you.
Communications.
Nothing.
There is one amendment to the agenda. We need to add the Euclid glass issue to new business. With that amendment, can I get a motion to approve the agenda, please? New business,
New
correct?
business, B, under new business.
Well,
Yeah.
I will move that we accept the agenda as amended with Euclid glass being added to new business as B under section 12. We need a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Kristen?
Yes.
Thank you.
Approve the agenda.
Okay. Karen?
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Larry,
Yeah.
and Jake.
Yes. Item 6, fiscal officer's report.
I need approval of the disbursements and gifts as presented in the board packet. And end of the quarters, we got a lot.
So move.
Fine, I'll be second.
Any questions or discussion? Not, roll call, please.
Kristen,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
and Jake.
Yes. Chris, director's report, please.
I am requesting approval for tuition reimbursement for Julia Connors and presented in your board packet. So moved.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? If not, let's have a roll call, please, for the approval of the one tuition reimbursement.
Kristen,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Larry,
Yeah.
and Jake.
Yes.
Okay. Under system updates, we have a lot of improvements made to Chardon, which I included, and then we had a late addition, which I added under new business, which we'll talk about later. The mobile memory lab, the name has officially been changed to Digital Legacy Lab to better reflect what it is. And we are adding another Digital Legacy Lab here at John West. All of those items have been ordered but not received yet, and we don't know when they're coming. Molly Johnson is working closely with the admin team to prepare for Patrick Culleton moving on to another library. And in technical services, we are still dealing with some delivery issues with the transitioning of the statewide delivery service, but Marlene has been doing a wonderful job making adjustments, and John's team has also been doing some ad hoc delivery to other libraries, which is really helping out quite a bit. And then under public services, I did attend the PLA conference, and we covered a lot of things about First Amendment issues, censorship, and we will be doing some First Amendment audit training for the staff. And then we have a lot of great programming. Our programming numbers were up significantly this last month. I believe 21% increase in program attendance system-wide over the previous month. So we had some great programs which I've highlighted in the board packet.
Awesome. Thank you.
How does it compare to last year for, I mean, does weather affect anything like that or no?
Well, weather can have a huge impact on programming, but actually, we're up over last year. So
That's
what we
what I was
really,
asking.
Yeah,
You're up-
we're up
Well,
over
you're coming
20.
in better weather, but also
Yes.
over last year.
Over last year, we're up. What we really compare to is 2019, which was our last
Yeah, right.
normal year. And we are getting closer and closer to 2019 numbers for circulation and programming. Actually, programming is a little higher.
That's great. Thank you.
Cool, thank you. Item 8 on the agenda is the Human Resources Report.
I need, approval is needed for the human resource actions as listed in your board packet.
So moved.
Second.
And, do we need roll call?
We do. Thank you, yes.
Kristen?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
And Jake?
Yes.
Approval is also requested for the 2 summary of material modifications for the cafeteria plan and an amendment to the plan document for the cafeteria plan. It's required, so.
It's required by law, so.
Want to make a motion that we follow the law?
Need a motion of that?
Yeah.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Kristen?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
And Jake?
Yes. That's it. Thank you. Local manager report. Eric.
All right, I just wanted to take a moment to introduce Cheryl Mullins as our new head of adult services here at the branch. She comes to us from Canal Fulton. I would also introduce Charlotte, who is our new head of youth services, but today's her day off. So I just want to make her come in just for that. We've had a lot of exciting things going on here at Java West. We just had Andre Bernier here to film a special that will go on the Fox 8 News on May 12th at 4 p.m. and 6 p.m., I believe was what they said. And Stephanie Paganini, who used to do a cooking spot on the news, did that interview with Andre, and she works here at Java West now. We've had people calling, asking for Stephanie's programs to sign up for them. So that's been great. We also have the addition of the smart board in the storytime room. If you'd like to see it after the meeting, I'd be happy to show you. It's very nice, moves up and down the wall. Our staff just received training on it last week from Mike and his team. And then, as Chris mentioned, we have the room all ready for the legacy lab. That will go in where the copier and the fax machine used to be. So we'll have the legacy lab and a large format printer in that room available to the public. Chris also asked me to show you our collection of, we have early reader backpacks. And these include a little educational toy and a couple of books in them. And they're displayed in the children's area for parents to take out with their children. I can't remember how many we have across the library system, but we have some at every branch. And we just went through a huge relabeling process of all of these. I worked with Marlene and her team to get all of that done, and that's been going really well. We also have early literacy boxes. These are for a little bit younger children, and in the box there is like a board book and another educational toy in those. Why I'm bringing all this up is we've been doing a lot of rearranging here at Java West, and we used to keep a good majority of these down in the basement in storage. And with the rearranging, we've been able to bring all the kits up from the basement so they're visible to the public and they can check them out. Along with these kits, we also have what we call STEAM kits. these can be for older kids, and it's really a wide variety of things. This is the only one that's in-house today. So it is a circle loom knitting kit. They usually come with a book and some sort of learning device. There's like a bird watching one, the loom knitting. There's a couple of ukuleles and things like that. So kids can take them, try them. It's a good way for kids to try things before you actually buy them. And I know Youth Services is working on a plan to buy, I don't know how many, but
50?
yeah.
I mean, I remember seeing the proposal.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to getting more of those because they're very popular. Like I said, this is the only one that's in right now.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Sure.
So that's a loom.
Yeah.
Right, and I assume something goes on the, you need the material.
Yeah, you have to buy the yarn and things.
So how does that work? Just so, how does that work?
What-
So let's say I take this out
Mhm.
for my son,
Sure.
because I'm thinking about my own kids.
Yeah.
So does it say in there that you need to go purchase X, Y, Z?
It doesn't really say you need to go purchase. A lot of them are not, I think the loom knitting is like one of the few that you actually would have to purchase something to use it.
So I would just go on Amazon and I would buy the rest of the stuff that I would need.
I think you just need yarn, that's it.
Just, okay, so not like those, you know, those structure
No,
things
no,
that
not
used to make
those,
the.
just regular yarn.
Yeah, this is a regular yarn
Okay.
knitting, so.
And a lot of the kits, do you have to provide, you know, does the person that's checking it out have to provide their own materials for a lot of
I
kits?
think
or-
this is one of the few you have to buy something for. There's like the bird watching one comes with binoculars and a book on different birds in Ohio.
Okay.
So
There's a
you
ukulele
can,
one,
the-
and most of them
yeah.
have everything in it unless it's a craft supply that is,
That you would keep at your house or something?
yeah,
Yeah.
we just wouldn't supply the craft supply.
Okay. That's so
exactly.
cool.
So,
Yeah.
so we have a good majority of those. There's a whole binder of them here. I created this binder too. If you want to look through after the meeting and see the different ones that we have. We also allow patrons to request them across the system, so we send them from building to building and facilitate that as well. Other things we have going on is we have the Great Jog West Egg Hunt. We did this last year during the pandemic, and we involved area businesses where you could go around and do, there's an egg, a paper egg in the window of the business and a book cover, and one of the letters are circled. And so you fill in the secret message and bring it back to the library and get a little prize. We had over 100 people participate last year, and I think we're well on our way to that this year. So, and we have businesses actually requesting to be a part of the egg hunt. So that's a lot of fun. If you have grandkids or kids, you know, feel free to join in that as well. The other thing we have started this year is we're having a third Thursday business social. We'll be having one on Thursday if you'd like to join us. We're inviting area business people to come in and talk about what the library can provide to them, what resources we have here. We've had a lot of good ideas come out of this. Chris and Becky have come, and it's just been a really nice time to chat and find out what people need in the community. So we're hoping it will grow. We started this because the Chesterland Chamber of Commerce isn't around anymore. So we were hoping maybe we could fill some of that void by providing services to area business people. And then the last thing I provided was just a list of programs that we have going on in April here at Jog West. It doesn't include all of our programs because on this sheet we don't include anything that's full already. So. I think that was it. Oh, and the Holden Arboretum donated 75 saplings for us to give away for Arbor Day. So we're really excited about that because we have an Arbor Day story time planned. Any questions? And if anyone would like a tour afterwards, I'm happy to do that.
Cool, thanks a lot, everybody. Great stuff going on. Committee reports. Let's see. Policy. Want to start us?
I can start us. The policy committee did meet and we reviewed all of the operating policies. And Lisa did a wonderful job making a spreadsheet to indicate all of the changes to the policies. Many of these were just kind of combining some policies that just had a few words each, or we had some very long policies and making that a little clear where things went. Cleaning up some language changes based on recommendations from the Ohio Library Council. And we did make significant changes to our behavior and conduct in the library policy to reflect what we were required to have. The policy committee did talk about all of these, and the chair of that committee is not here, but Karen can speak to it, right?
Yep. There was some suggested changes,
Right.
and those, we made those, and that's reflected in what we have in the board packet.
A couple of questions, just
Yes.
things that need to be cleared up. You did a great job as far as wording, changing things that, fit today's, as opposed to what was yesterday, and we don't use it anymore. So it's all been updated, a lot of work, but yeah, that's good.
I would like to add that Marlene did a significant amount of work on the circulation policies as well, to make sure everything was up to date with what we actually do and is represented in there, so.
Rachel reviewed
And
them all,
Rachel
found all
reviewed
the
them all and
typos.
found all of our typos. So it was really a team effort to get all of this done in one fell swoop.
Awesome. So we need a motion to basically approve all the changes to the spreadsheet.
So moved.
I'll second.
Right? I was kind of on one of the meetings. I don't have any other questions. It all makes sense to me. So I think no one else has any other questions. Roll call, please.
Kristen?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
And Jake?
Yes. And that was it on your policy? Just one item?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's it.
great.
One very much.
Heavy.
Yes.
Facilities committee, I think, had a report as well.
All you want to speak to the, well, the facility, or you want us to discuss?
You can speak.
Okay. Okay, we just met just to discuss some of the plans that we are intending, the things we're intending to do. And I'll go over them really briefly. I think all of you are aware that Donley's had their construction trailer on our property in front of the ad center when they were constructing the new building for the county. And I did see they're taking down the fence as I was leaving. So they're working on getting that out. So we had talked about for a few years, maybe doing some landscaping in front or whatever. So we thought this was a good opportunity, since it was taken down to nothing, to go ahead and create hopefully some type of outdoor space, maybe with a pavilion. Mr. Dvorak, the Commissioner Dvorak, was talking to us because he likes that idea of collaboration between the county, the library, hopefully the hospital, just to create a space for our patrons as well as county employees. There's always people walking down there. Anyhow, just have a space. We'll have Wi-Fi access, hopefully a pavilion, tables, seating, something like that. So we are working on that, and I forgot the very beginning of it. We looked at statements of qualifications. So on our website, we have asked for statements of qualifications from landscape architects and design professionals. So we did review those and chose a firm from each. So that's who will be working on a plan for the ad center. And then the outdoor space. And then also, I don't know if anybody's been to the ad center recently, but there's been a lot of movement of departments. There's a lot of space in that building, but not all of it is used well. And again, with the new county building right across the street, they kind of let us know that they may be looking for meeting space. They've already been over to see what we have. So we're thinking that we would be able to create another meeting room there and still have enough room for our employees, but we would like to have someone come in and give us a plan, because we are not space designers at all. So we'll be working with that. And then we just discussed possibilities for Chardon. Do you want to talk about Chardon?
Well, we discussed some options and some possibilities, but really we do need a facility study. We need someone qualified to tell us what we can actually do on that property with what's there or the space. So that was really a lot of the discussion. And then many of the people on the committee took a tour of the ad center and got to see all of the space and some different ways we might be able to use it.
So we don't need any action.
Yes,
It's
we
just
don't need any
information.
action, it's really just an update of the meeting and how we're moving
Is
forward.
there any idea how big of a facility can be put on that space compared to something like Bainbridge?
Well, the original, at Chardon, right, is what you're
Yeah.
saying, Chardon? The original facility, the original facility study that we had recommended a 30,000 square foot building in Chardon. We're not sure if that much room is needed, but the only way to get that on that property is to go up. And Kate said that they had looked at going up, building another story on the current building, and it's not built for that. But there is room for an addition because we bought the lot, or two lots, I guess it was, next to, was it the north of the building. So there's definitely possibilities there to get a large enough building or a much larger building than we currently have, and more usable space. Hopefully have meeting rooms that aren't just in the basement or things like that. The parking there is a big concern because we have to have adequate parking. So it might be a collaboration between the city of Chardon, the county, the schools,
There's no thought to go explore other places in Chardon?
We would really like to stay on the square.
And
They would
really
really
like
like
to
to
stay
stay
there.
there.
We would like to stay there. We have the space, it's the parking that is the problem. The school has not been forthcoming as far as wanting to give up their space in the back. They let us use it, but they don't want to give it to us.
I think last time it was discussed was before their levy, so things may have
So
changed.
they may have changed, it's been 2 years, we really need to speak with them again. I'm sure things could be rearranged, because when I was standing there looking at it, they've got a playground right here, well, they can move their playground over there. We're gonna have this over here. It looks easy on paper.
Right, exactly.
I'm not quite sure that they think that's easy.
Well, they may
it's
have
not
other concerns that we're not aware
That
of,
we
so,
don't know.
yeah.
And it may not be as easy as it looks, but it's an idea.
Yeah.
And we really need to explore it with them again, because it's been 2 years.
Right.
And that whole committee, I think, just disintegrated back when COVID started, so.
Where did we get, I just can't remember that we can't go up. That,
That
That
was
might have been
Van Dyke,
Van Dyke.
when he did the facility
I
study.
think that was
It's
way
a
back.
tricky space, so we really kind of need a professional to give us some guidance on that. Because
And
it's
how
a-
much of the footage we can cover. You know, you
Right.
go lot line to lot line.
Yeah, because basically the facility study was just like, based on the population, you need this many square feet. He didn't go into what can be done. Right. Because that was, then we did the bond issue and we did.
when is it time to start thinking about that? I mean, like,
No.
Really now.
Yeah.
We kind of get
people that are smarter than us about the things
Right.
that
What
we
can be
intention,
done there,
right?
yes, what can be done there and what is possible. The other thing that wasn't taken into consideration when Van Dyke did the facilities review is that we are really using the ad center for public meeting space quite a bit. And that is in Chardon. So how much public meeting, I mean, we definitely need public meeting space in the Chardon Library, but do we need as much as maybe other places when we are really heavily using the ad center for public meetings?
And hopefully creating more space.
Right.
And Thompson didn't exist then either.
Right, right.
Yeah.
How many square feet is Bainbridge?
30, a little bit over 30.
We're in a really big parking lot.
Yeah, it does hit
And
another
that's the ad center. I mean, you start talking about using the ad center, you don't have that big a parking lot.
Right, and we
like
already
do in
added,
Bainbridge.
yeah, we already added all onto the parking.
Now, how much of that can we take away? If you start putting a gazebo on the end and you think people are gonna come, that means they're gonna drive. They may not necessarily walk, because the hospital's up here, who knows? Now you got extra cars in our parking lot. That's okay, and we're not totally full.
No.
Right, well, today we
When you
hosted
have
a meeting.
meetings,
Today we hosted a meeting for the sheriff's department, and we had 50 participants and all the staff there, and we still had empty. It was full, but we had plenty of empty spaces.
I think when they added that additional, I can't remember when that was done or how many spaces. It did make a big, it did make a big difference because.
but again, are we restrained by square footage? I know in Bainbridge, the reason we couldn't do the old library bigger than what we have back then was because we were within the green space. I don't know what at Ed Center, if you're restricted by that, but they've shut us down for a long time.
You mean if we wanted to add more parking? Is
Yes,
that what you're saying?
yeah, they would only allow so much.
Right, because you have to have a
that
green
lot.
space, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is at the Ed
I
Center.
don't know.
I have no idea. And you gotta look into that, because if you start putting a gazebo up, and then you start having more meeting space, and you're booking 2 meetings at the same time, there goes your parking. Even though we've expanded, it's not enough to cover all of that.
I think we look at the walkway, putting the walkways into the buildings.
Right.
To kind of eliminate people
Having
driving
to
over.
drive.
To entice them more to walk.
Right.
I mean,
You can
not,
encourage them to
we
walk.
could, but
That's, the hospital's all the way up here.
You'd be surprised how much walking.
Oh, I'm sure they,
takes on
I'm
people.
not saying people don't
Yeah.
walk, it's just that you're still gonna get extra cars. And then you've got meetings, and then you've got people working there, and then you got our own people coming.
Right.
Now you have enough space.
And then the other thing that we touched on in the meeting is how important it is for the city of Chardon to keep the building that we do put there aesthetically pleasing to the square. So I know, Larry, you're saying about Bainbridge, but I think somebody was very outspoken
Was
about
very
saying,
vocal about
we
it.
want to make sure that it's not that clean, modern look like Bainbridge. It's
Right.
great in Bainbridge.
No, I didn't mean.
No, I
yeah.
get, it just
Right,
made me
no,
I
think about.
imagine
It has to fit the square.
Right,
They gotta
so
think
whether-
about the courthouse and what
Right.
aesthetics have.
Right, and I think, and we talked about how we can be more creative with sharing that parking space too, because the courthouse doesn't have parking.
No.
I mean, there's just no parking anywhere. It's a total nightmare. Just wait till this weekend with the Maple Fest. Yeah, it's crazy. So, I mean, I think if we try to be creative with that and partner with different people, I think that parking could be an asset that we could offer to the city of Chardon and to the school system. I mean, we go all the time to park for all of our activities, everything that we do in Chardon, all of the theater, the musical, everything that we do is at Park Elementary because it has an auditorium. Parking is a total nightmare. I mean, there's nowhere to park. You know, so maybe if we're creative about it, if other people have suggestions, how can we go to Chardon School and entice them? You know, we could offer this parking to you know, after hour or whatever, I don't know, just an idea. But I know parking is a nightmare for everybody.
Although some of the county employees will leave, I mean, not that that affects a whole lot in the evening. But, you know, whatever, I have not figured out whose department is moving to that new
I was
building.
told nobody on the,
I
and this could be
know,
wrong,
that's so
nobody on the
strange.
square is moving.
So then
It's
we
only
can't
the
go
ones up
All-Stars.
on whatever that is.
Well, I'm just thinking of after hours
Right, yeah. it's
is
still after
would
hours.
entice the school, because it's the after hours that there's not enough parking.
No.
You know, for the school, for all these programs
Oh,
and
yeah,
everything. Whereas the library might not need the parking as much in these
As long as
later
we have a
hours.
program.
Right, but
Yeah.
I mean, that's something we could maybe talk about and propose.
Yeah, no, we need to coordinate better with them and the dialogue, absolutely. I mean, COVID really took the wind out of our sails, it's true. We just need to get back in gear.
Okay, good discussion. If there's nothing else from the facilities committee, then unfinished business. You don't have any? Perfect. New business. Two things. A, approval of the April discard list. Mr. Rosenstock, do I have a motion? Paul.
I move it.
Second.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Kristen,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Larry,
Yeah,
and Jake.
Yes. And then the addition to the agenda, which we approved, the Euclid glass on new business.
Yes, we got a quote on replacing the doors at Chardon, which we have a lot of problems with. They're misaligned, they don't close right, they don't lock right. If you have any more questions, I did ask John to speak to this about how the doors are very difficult at Chardon. So we did finally get a quote on replacing those doors, and I would need approval for this. Oh, yeah, and there's a window that is all, the glass is kind of damaged and fogged.
Press the button, the door opens.
They don't shut.
But they don't close.
They don't lock, can't lock.
They open, but they don't close.
Yeah, and the locking mechanism is becoming more and more troublesome.
Are you talking about automatic doors?
They are automatic doors.
Front two
Oh, you mean the
square.
replacement says automatic? Yes, says they're automatic now.
This one, you can press it and it'll lift you up.
Super special automatic door.
It's the one, it's the one by the drive that, where we have that computer bar that everybody loves down. It's the one window, it's just like, it's, what is that?
It's fogged over, the
Yeah.
seals have worn
The
out over
seals
the
are
last
gone.
20
Yeah, the
years.
seals are bad, and there's like permanent condensation
Yeah,
in there.
It looks really bad.
It does, it looks bad.
Yeah, it's no good for the library, because they, at Bainbridge, had that, they routed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good.
Okay, so I think I understand. It sounds like we need a motion to approve this amount. Everyone got this in fact, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta let it on,
Okay.
copies here.
Need a motion?
motion.
Sorry, yeah, to approve the work.
I'll motion.
Second.
Perfect. And no questions, then roll call.
Kristen,
Yes.
Karen,
Yep.
Paul,
Yes.
Larry,
yeah.
and Jake.
Yes. Board development.
Okay, I don't have board development this month, but we did find out something that we have to address next month and get ready, and that is Lisa went to the fiscal officers conference, or training, and we have to have have some ethics paperwork signed. Do you want to speak to that?
It's, we just, maybe this was done and I don't have the file, but along with our employees, who are all new employees, get the Ohio ethics law, and then they sign off and they say they have it. I'm assuming all of you received it, but I'm sure Kristen got it when she started new, and Larry, but I don't have the sign off sheet. So we're just gonna supply it again and have you sign off. So,
Okay.
definitely in compliance.
Yes.
Proven that.
Yeah, I'm sure maybe it's in a file somewhere, but I don't know where it is.
Yeah. probably.
So, and it's good to review again. It's just good to see it again.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Okay, comments from the public. Oh, I'm sorry, foundation. I can do a check when I'm pointing.
Hello. So today we're kicking off Rascal's Readers at our kindergarten classes all over the county. I have retired teachers going into Timmins Elementary this
Can you
week.
speak a little louder?
Sure, I'm going to get closer. I always try to sit closer to you, and I don't know why I chose that seat today. So we kicked off Rascal's Readers this morning, actually, at Timmins Elementary. We have our retired teachers going into the kindergarten classes to read Frog and Toad to the class. They present them with a certificate. They show them our new little Rascals Reader mini plush, and they encourage the kids to bring their families to the library to get their own library card, to receive a copy of their book, not a copy of the raccoon, an actual raccoon. And also we're encouraging them to come back to sign up for summer reading and to come to the kickoff and roll out the red carpet for these young readers, and show them where the children's section is, and get them and their families ready to read this summer. So that started today, and we'll be having our volunteers go into kindergarten classrooms probably through about mid-May till they're wrapping up the school year. So I don't know who's more excited about this program, the volunteers, the school teachers, the library, or hopefully the kids, but I know I will definitely miss being at the branch when they come in with their certificates for their library card and their Rascals, because it's just so cute for anybody that's ever worked the desk during this program. It's wonderful.
Is that just for West G?
It's for the whole county.
So is that happening in Chardon?
It's happening in Chardon. Yes. You have a kindergartner?
I have a kindergarten.
Okay, so
He's here
Andrea,
right now.
yes, Andrea Ryan is getting back to me with a date, and we have volunteers set up and ready to go. So he will be bringing home his certificate to report to the library.
Do you need teacher volunteers? Do you need more volunteers to sign up, or are you covered with that?
For Chardon, I kind of need one for West G. If you
Oh,
know
that's my
someone.
mom.
Yeah, okay, that'd be great.
I could also volunteer too, if
Okay.
you need something.
I do. I have Mr. Kish calling me back today because they were off for the long weekend, and he's going to talk to his kindergarten people and set up a date. And that's like the one school. I'll let you know.
Well, my mom is part of that retired teacher.
Oh,
committee.
great.
She loves it. I mean, they go do all crazy things, but she has a ton of teachers that would volunteer. Just keep that in mind too, if you have a lot of other stuff that you need volunteers for.
I might be somebody Thursday afternoon at Timmons. That's the one slot that I have open. That's the
Let me
one.
know.
But,
Just
okay.
send me an email or a text or something. and then-
Sounds great. I have a sign-up genius. I could send you the times and the dates and share the spreadsheet with you.
Sure.
Thank you so
I'm
much,
sure my mom
Kristen.
would do it.
I appreciate that. It's fun. The teachers love it. The
Yeah.
retired teachers
She
love it
loves
too.
it.
Yeah. Thanks. Secondly, this weekend is the Partners First Book Sale at the branches. Now, they've done the one at the Geauga County Fair, but this weekend they'll be having their first book sale at the Chardon branch. And they're ready, right? All right, they're ready to go. They've got more than enough volunteers. It was fantastic. They had 23 people sign up to volunteer for shifts. I think they were actually turning people away. Somebody was asking to volunteer this. So that's fantastic, because I think the last Chardon book sale that we had, we were scrambling for volunteers to help cover those shifts. So they're ready. They're a little nervous about doing it during Maple Festival, but I'm sure everything is going to go great. So that's the big news that's coming up. So, and then I did just want to say that this is my last board meeting, and it's kind of fitting that it's here at Geauga West, where the whole thing started 11 years ago when I reported to my shift as a shelver, 16 hours a week. And it's just been an honor to be a part of this organization and to serve the public in this capacity. And I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Patrick, thank you. Good luck to both of you. Thank you very much for what you guys have done.
Thanks.
Comments from the public? Nothing on team? All right. Okay, I think that's it. Motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Bye.
Any opposed? We adjourn.